You are listening to Therapy and Menopause and Beyond with Dr. Deb Butler. This is episode number 274. Welcome to Therapy and Menopause and Beyond. This is Dr. Deb Butler, Master Life and Weight Coach, and as always, your coach. If you're a woman and you're smart and you're successful and you've been struggling with weight your whole life, and now menopause is making it harder than ever, and you are ready to make this the last time you ever have to go on a diet again, then this podcast is for you. Stay tuned. Hello, all my dear friends. As always, I'm going to ask you, how are you? Take a moment. How are you? How are you feeling right now? If I asked you to just go into your body and see what you're feeling, it's always a good start. I always think if somebody says, or you ask somebody, how are you? What is it really like if you mean it? Because I'm asking you right now, how are you? You're not sitting in front of me, but I'm still wondering, how are you feeling in this moment? Because seriously, it's one of the most lovely things that you can do for yourself is know where you are at any given moment. It's called being present, being in the present moment. And one of the best ways to know if you're being in the present moment is if you can see your thinking, if you can see your feeling, if you can see and feel what you're feeling, if you can see what you're actually seeing. Using your five senses in the present moment is the best way to bring yourself into the present moment. So asking yourself, how are you? How are you feeling? And going in your body to feel those feelings will bring you into the present moment. So just take that moment and tell yourself, since you can't really talk to me right now, how are you feeling? Right now, I'm feeling pretty good. I can feel a little bit of butterflies in my stomach right now. I call them butterflies, but I guess what it really feels like, most of my vibrations of my feelings tend to be in the lower part of my body, either my diaphragm, the middle of my gut, the end of my gut. All of it seems to lie there, negative, positive. So this butterfly feeling is really kind of like a fast vibration, and there's a fluttering that goes on that I actually feel that goes up into my diaphragm and almost into my chest. And for me, when I do a podcast, it can be a butterfly feeling like I'm feeling right now because I'm excited to talk to you about what I want to talk to you about. But sometimes I also can feel nervous, which is also in my gut. But it does not feel fluttery. It does not feel light. It does not feel fast. What this feels like when I'm anxious is more heavy, kind of stays in my lower gut. And I just like to notice that it's there. I don't make it mean anything other than that's what I'm feeling right now. And a lot of times when I feel like that, it's just part of what I know as I'm getting ready to do something that's either new for me, or when I'm doing a podcast like this, I'm doing new information and I've thought of new things that I want to tell you. And when I talk, I really don't follow a script, if you haven't noticed. I come up with a topic, I think about the major points, and then I just kind of roll with it because I really believe that my brilliance is in really being in the moment and allowing myself to think and feel as I go. And I do think that that's actually a gift of mine. I don't think I do as well and get my point across as much when I really try to plan it. So to thine own self be true. For me, that's just how it works. What I wanted to talk to you about today as I'm telling you all this is I think that there is one very specific thing about menopausal weight loss that I want to talk to you about. And I do believe it is the secret to menopausal weight loss. And I actually have it on my website as a gift that I give you. So you can always go to my website and get the number one secret to menopausal weight loss, in which I wrote this blog quite a while ago, but it's just so true. And I think now that we're starting to get out in the world again, we're not locked down as much. I think a lot of things are starting to change for a lot of us. We were kind of getting used to being locked down. We were kind of used to the way of life that it was. But for those of you that are in the midst of perimenopause or in menopause itself or right on the end of menopause, I really believe that if you decide that this is an opportunity for you, because I think many of you don't believe that. I think there's a lot of cultural myths about menopause that make it seem like, oh, you're getting old, your body's not performing, this is it. There's so many women that say things like that to me and write to me about that, like, am I too old? And what I want to tell you is that you are right on time. That this period of your life, this transformation, this transition can absolutely be best opportunity you will ever have to create whatever it is you want. I say it to you because I work with a lot of women that I watch do it. And also I can tell you from experience that I did it. Because I was about your age in my early 50s when I was really wondering what I wanted to do career-wise. I had been a chiropractor for a long, long time. I liked working with people. I liked adjusting people. I loved helping people get healthy. I did a lot of work with nutrition. I did a lot of work with supplementation, holistic health. But there was just something missing. I was really looking for something else. And of course, at that time, I also was in the beginning of menopause for myself, and I wasn't sleeping, and I was really pretty emotional a lot of the time, had a lot more anxiety, and I really was looking. And now that I'm so much older and wiser than that time, I can see that the symptoms that I was having from menopause really made me look at my life, made me really think about my connection to my own body. And boy, did I make changes, starting with becoming a coach. And I became a certified coach a couple of times, one with Martha Beck, which was amazing. And then I went on to the life coach school with Brooke Castillo. And not only did I become a certified life coach, I also became a master coach. And then, of course, I went on to instruct other coaches within the life coach school. And I changed the way I ate. I changed my body. I changed my total career. I stopped doing chiropractic and started a whole new career in life coaching, in weight loss coaching, and very specifically with menopausal women, because that was me. And my life now is more amazing than I ever could have imagined when I was in my early 50s. And that is what's in store for you, my darling, if you listen up and you listen to all the things that I teach in these podcasts. Now, today is my number one secret to menopausal weight loss. Are you ready? It's this. Your actual appetite has decreased a lot since you were 20 years old. And I think many of you don't know that, because it seemed to me when I was in menopause and I was going through it, I felt hungrier. And what I learned through all of my research, through all of the coaching that I had, is that the hunger that I was feeling wasn't physical. It was emotional, because those of you who are going through menopause probably know what I'm talking about. Your emotions get heightened. They do. And they're really there for a reason. They're there to be recognized. They're there to understand them. And they're there to feel them if you never have before. So you almost can't ignore your feelings in menopause if you haven't noticed. But I think it's really good news. And the reason that I think it's such good news is because it gives you an opportunity to start to differentiate the difference between eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're full and dealing with your emotions. So there's actually emotional hunger that you cannot fill up with food. There's not enough food that's going to make your emotions go away or get better. Certainly, if you eat the food, you may not feel it for a little bit. You'll numb it, but it will not make it go away. They will come back, and they will come back stronger. So the number one secret to menopausal weight loss is this. Your appetite is decreasing, and it has been decreasing over the last 25 years. There's lots of research on it in my number one secret to menopausal weight loss that you can get on my website. If you want to read about it, I've got a lot of research in it that actually shows you why this is true. But if you are eating the way you ate when you were 25 years old and you are just still eating exactly the same, you probably have gained 20 to 30 pounds. And the reason is because your appetite has slowly been decreasing over time because your metabolism decreases over time. And I think there's a lot of research on this, and there's some people that say that there's a way that you can keep your metabolism going, but I think in the end it decreases. And I think all that means is that if your appetite decreases and you notice that your appetite is decreasing, then you just eat less. You still do exactly what I'm always talking about. You eat when you're hungry and you stop when you're full. I talk about the physical hunger scale of going from a -2, which is the whisper of hunger, to a +2, which is the whisper of fullness. If you're looking at a scale that goes from a -10 to a +10, this is all in my number one secret to menopausal weight loss. But there's a lot of room on there to eat a lot more. And if you can't differentiate these stronger emotions, or you're like I was, which means that when I was younger, I was eating my emotions all the time anyway. And the only way I ever learned how to lose weight was by restricting and depriving myself and following another diet plan. And I could do any diet plan. I could eat any way, anything for a period of time, lose a lot of weight really fast, go back to my regular way of eating, gain the weight, and then go back and deprive and restrict myself and blah, blah. I would just keep doing that over and over again until menopause hit. And when menopause hit, the problem is that didn't work anymore. And the reason that it really didn't work anymore is because my body had changed so much. Your body has changed a lot too. And this one secret, this one thing, if you really realize that your appetite is decreased, you don't have to restrict or deprive yourself to lose weight or not to gain weight. You have to listen to your physical hunger. Eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full. And when you can differentiate the difference between eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're full, but noticing that you still want to eat even though you know you're not hungry, that is an opportunity for you to look. And I want you to know that if you do this one thing, pay attention to your physical hunger scale and note that you just can't eat as much as you used to when you're looking at your physical hunger scale, because the truth is you can't. Your body is not the same, and it doesn't require as much. And it's giving you signals to tell you that. But if you've never been connected to your body up till the time of 50 years old, like for me, I disconnected with my body when I was about 12 years old, because that's when I thought something is wrong with me, because I was in junior high school, is what they called it then. I think it's middle school now. We were getting weighed for the first time, going into junior high school. And my friends were talking about what they weighed, and all of a sudden it occurred to me that it sounded like the number on the scale for me was more than them. And immediately, because of a household that I grew up in, and the ideas that even my mom had at that time about eating and diet and bodies and women, which all kind of come across as you grow into adolescence because you really start thinking a lot more about yourself and you start thinking a lot more about what's wrong with you. It's not like you start thinking about what's right with you. It's the time when you start seeing all the things that are wrong with you. And without a lot of help and support, which is adolescents probably need more than anything, is to know what's going on in their heads. But that's not what I want to talk about here. But as an adolescent, that is what was going on with me. And I immediately thought I had to stop eating. And that's exactly what I did. I just stopped eating. I stopped eating certain meals. I would only eat once a day. I remember going with one of my friends to this little diner and ordering a hot dog. I mean, I didn't know anything about nutrition. I ordered a hot dog and that's what I ate all day. It's crazy. And I think that I thought I should do that because the number on the scale was too much and it meant something about me that began this whole thing about there must be something wrong with me about my body and the number on the scale. And I don't know about you, but I certainly know for me, I had no weight problem at that time. I really didn't. But that is the beginning of my weight problems. The beginning is when I stopped listening to my body and started restricting. And I did it up until the time I was 50 years old, until almost that didn't work anymore. Because my body was changing so much. Our bodies changed so much. And it's when I learned everything that I teach now. And so the one thing that I'm teaching to you right now, if you have been, or if I had been connected to my body the whole time and wasn't restricting and depriving myself year after year after year, I would always have been probably close to the same weight because I would be just listening to the appetite of my body. And my appetite is just the way my body signals to me when to eat and when to stop. And it's a whole big chemical thing, a neurological thing. I mean, our bodies, the way that we're wired is amazing. Being in chiropractic school and learning all of that, amazing. You think I would have been more respectful, but I wasn't. I was just trying to figure out how to have a skinny body. That's all I cared about. The only good thing about all of those years of restricting and depriving, the best thing I learned is how to eat vegetables. I don't know about you, but I really did. I love vegetables, and I think I kind of trained myself to eat them. But that was probably the best thing that came out of all of that. And now when I started learning everything that I learned, and I realized that, hey, sweetheart, you don't even want to eat like you used to. You don't even have that appetite. You just been eating all of your negative emotions because you never learned how to feel them. In menopause, boy, they were coming up more than ever. And that was the beginning of everything for me. And that is what I want to offer you. That this secret, that's no longer a secret because I'm telling you, is that your appetite has decreased immensely from the time that you were 20. And if you just start this one thing of eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're full, I say it all the time, but being able to get my companion workbook where it has this physical hunger scale in it, where you can see it, and the emotional hunger scale. And I know the emotional hunger scale is a little bit harder, but first you have to really see and feel your own physical hunger. And I get letters from people all the time that tell me that just that one thing of eating when they're hungry and stopping when they're full changed everything for them. And they realized how little they need to eat because we've been eating. I was overeating so much for so long, especially when I wasn't restricting and depriving, that I thought I needed to eat a lot and that I couldn't eat a lot because I would gain weight. But the truth is I really could not eat a lot. My body really didn't want the food. It had nothing to do with anything. There was nothing wrong with me. I just didn't need to eat as much. And because I had never been connected to my body, I didn't even know it. But now, as I'm even older than when I started, I eat even less. My appetite has decreased more. And I think it's pretty researched that that's what happens. I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think that listening to your body is the only thing that you have to do. And I can't think of a better time to learn how to do that than menopause. Your body is asking for your attention. Emotionally, physically, it is changing. If you learn how to connect with it now, you will create a totally different connection with your body for the rest of your life. And seriously, you need this connection as you age. The best way that I know of to proactively age is to be connected to your body and do what it says. Eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. Feel your emotions, deal with your emotions. If something hurts, pay attention to it. If you're tired, rest. Your body has all kinds of signals. It's giving them to you. Are you listening? If you haven't up until now, my darling, take the opportunity to get to know your body. You will never, ever be disappointed, I promise. You will thank me for the rest of your life if you do this one thing. It is simple. It is not easy, but it is simple. And once you start to notice your emotional hunger, that is step number 2. If you're eating when you're not hungry, and you know you're not hungry, and you can see what you actually need to eat, and then you watch what you want to eat, even though you're not physically hungry, now you're looking at emotional hunger, and you're looking at what we call, or what I call, emotional holes that you're trying to fill with food. Okay, you got that? That's the number 1 secret to menopause. Think about it, work on it, and you know what? There's something else I'm going to tell you, and you know what it is, but I'm going to say it anyway. I know I want you to listen to your physical hunger scale, eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full. And this is not the number 1 secret today. But seriously, no matter where else you go today, no matter what else you do today, please, please, please be very, very kind to yourself. And I promise you, you will enjoy your life so much more. Bye-bye, and see you next week. If you're loving my podcast and you would like some more information to be able to follow along with, then please go to drdebbutler.com/change, and you can get a free copy of my companion book that goes with this podcast that I refer to in many different episodes. That is drdebbutler.com/change, CHANGE.